Hello there, and welcome to the weekly Asylum and Immigration Reform Update, where I share with you 5 recent stories of interest to asylum seekers and those who want to stay current on immigration news. This week, we're discussing Trump showcases remote detention site nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz in Florida swamps. DOJ sues entire Maryland federal bench over refusal to comply with detention policy. White House considers temporary permits for undocumented farm workers amid enforcement backlash. Justice Department targets naturalized immigrants in new denaturalization push. Supreme Court weakens federal judges' authority, casting doubt on birthright citizenship protections. I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. It's my pleasure to bring you asylum and immigration reform updates each week, right here on the Political Asylum Lawyers YouTube channel. Okay, let's get to the news. First up.
On Tuesday, President Trump toured a new immigration detention center located in the Florida Everglades. Officials have nicknamed it Alligator Alcatraz and claim that it will serve as a model for future deportation facilities. The facility, located at the Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport, is surrounded by swamps full of alligators, pythons, and mosquitoes. It can hold up to 5,000 detainees. Trump joked about teaching migrants how to escape an alligator, moving his hand in a zigzag. The site has one access road, 28,000 feet of barbed wire, 400 security agents, and 200 cameras. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem warned undocumented immigrants to deport themselves voluntarily or risk ending up there with no chance of returning. Governor Ron DeSantis announced that the first detainees would arrive on Wednesday. Environmental groups filed lawsuits claiming damage to the ecosystem, while Native American leaders opposed construction on sacred lands. The Federal Emergency Management Agency is funding the facility, which protesters called a crude political stunt.
And next up, for update number 2.
In an unusual move, the Department of Justice sued all 17 federal judges in Maryland. The lawsuit seeks to overturn a standing order that prevents the government from deporting undocumented immigrants for at least 1 day after they file a legal appeal against their detention. The Department of Justice described this situation as another unfortunate example of the misuse of equitable powers to limit the executive. The order was issued last month, amidst attempts by courts nationwide to manage a flood of urgent lawsuits challenging the Trump administration's deportation policies. Now, since all the district judges are named as defendants, technically none can take on the case in Maryland. Therefore, the Department of Justice has requested that all judges recuse themselves and that the case be assigned to a judge from another district or transferred entirely.
All right, time for our third immigration update.
President Trump shared that his government is creating a temporary permit system for immigrant workers in specific areas, which is a new turn in immigration policy. During an interview on Fox News on Friday, Trump explained that the plan will let workers pay taxes and help farmers keep employees with many years of experience. He talked about cases where agents removed people who had been working in the fields for 15 to 20 years, seeing it as bad for farmers. The president admitted that these jobs require a lot of effort and are not jobs most people want to do. This announcement comes after weeks of mixed messages, with the White House first stopping, then restarting, and then rethinking workplace raids in areas like farming, hotels, and restaurants. A spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security said there will be no safe places for businesses that protect dangerous criminals, even though Trump stressed how important it is to protect farmers so they don't lose their most experienced workers. The government had already put forward ideas to make the H-2A and H-2B visa programs better for temporary migrant workers, suggesting ways for undocumented people to leave and come back legally.
And moving right along, update number 4.
The Department of Justice has started strong new efforts to take away citizenship from naturalized Americans who have done certain crimes. This is a big increase in how they take away citizenship. A memo from June 11th tells lawyers to make taking away citizenship one of the top 5 things the agency does, handling cases mostly in civil court instead of criminal court. This way of doing things means the people accused don't get a lawyer, and it needs less proof to show they are guilty. The new rules include crimes against national security, cheating people or programs like Medicare, and give prosecutors a lot of freedom to decide other cases. About 25 million immigrants are naturalized citizens who could be affected by these actions. Legal experts warn that this creates second-class citizens and goes against the fair process protected by the 14th Amendment. Children who got citizenship because of their parents could lose their nationality if their parents lose their citizenship. This policy is the strongest use of taking away citizenship since the McCarthy era, when 22,000 cases were handled each year before the Supreme Court stepped in 1967.
And finally, our fifth immigration update for this week.
Following a 6-3 vote, the Supreme Court ruled that individual federal judges lack the authority to issue judicial orders that apply nationwide. President Trump celebrated this as a major victory. However, the ruling did not definitively resolve the future of birthright citizenship restrictions. This decision allows Trump's executive order, which denies citizenship to children of undocumented mothers and foreign fathers, to potentially apply in certain states. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, expressing her disagreement from the bench, accused the government of gamesmanship in attempting to impose an order she called patently unconstitutional. Sotomayor warned that no right is safe under this new legal framework. A federal judge in Maryland on Monday ordered the government to explain how it will implement the order, pressing on whether they would deport babies before she rules on class action relief. Justice Department Attorney Brad Rosenberg responded no when Judge Deborah Boardman asked if they would seek to deport babies. Pro-immigrant activists maintain the decision creates a dangerous scenario where citizenship will depend on the judicial district in which one is born.
And that wraps up this week's immigration news. If you want to win asylum in the United States, then you should call my office today. We help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you are. Call us now to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can help you secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your immigration journey.